Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Bealtaine Cottage, here in the west of Ireland. It's very near the autumn equinox, and the birds are singing, but not as loud as they were at the beginning of May, when they were all mating. But this morning, here are the collared doves feeding at my little bird station. So I've been doing a massive amount of cutting back in along this border and taking it right back to the stone bank. I've gone back about a metre and a half, something like that. Yeah, all the way along. Now this morning I've just been cutting a huge branch of this tree, which is now quite ginormous. It's a very, very heavy tree. So this is the branch now which has been scalped, and I've got all that to move. Cutting back the fuchsia because it's got very leggy and I want it to grow more as a hedge than as trees, because I've got quite a few trees in here which are nice, and that's what I want to really show up. And you see where the driveway curves round here, that's really because these trees have become so overhanging. So again, I've been pruning and got a lot more to do. I don't think by any means I'm finished, but it's starting to take shape. So I'll just walk back this way and then look back onto the scene. Okay. So now you can see. Now there's some dead ash trees here and here, which need to come down as well. But that'll be done over the course of the winter. There's a lot of work to do now outside the cottage and around, in the form of pruning and shaping, coppicing, pollarding. Not actually cutting trees down. I don't do that except where absolutely necessary. And you can see all the waste now that I've got to, I'm a wee bit out of breath because I have been sawing, move over to the big compost area over here. This is a lot more that I've put in here from when I was pruning all this back. So yeah, a lot of work, but good work, healthy work. Well, I don't know about you, but here at Bealtaine Cottage, I'm enjoying a beautiful Indian summer. I don't know how long it's going to last, but certainly this week has been incredible. We've had warmth and sunshine and dryness, and it's promised for the rest of the week. So that's a wonderful bonus because we've had such a wet summer. Not that I've noticed that much because I have been working indoors, as you know. There's been a lot of work happening inside the cottage. But it's just heavenly to go out into the gardens and into nature and enjoy every last little bit of summer and light that's in it. I hope you're having a beautiful September as well. Well, when I'm out driving or out in the garden or just going out, sometimes even just at home, I like to have a refreshing drink. And when I've been out and I've got thirsty, I've been buying bottles a bit like this size here of basically it's just water with some squash added, and they're almost €2.50. Crazy, I know. So I've taken to making my own drinks, and I thought I'd just share this with you. So what I have in here is spring water from the spring well in my local village, which is free. It's ice cold, pure spring water. It must be about 100 years old or so because it's from a very deep aquifer. So then I add some squash, just some orange and lemon, a little bit. But then my secret ingredient, and what you'd pay extra for in the shops, is some real green tea, which I make up in a very small jug, so it's quite concentrated, and then I add it. Well, I'm telling you, this is like rocket fuel. So there you go. Don't go spending money on expensive drinks. Make your own. Well, finally, I can unveil the outdoor lighting. And as you can see, it adds a lovely brightness, yet it's a soft kind of light. It's not harsh. And it provides enough illumination for me to be able to carry on working outside during the late autumn and winter. You know, the nights are very long here in the west of Ireland. Midsummer, the days hardly end. They just flow from one to another because of the extensive light. But during the winter, it can be really dark, which can be very beautiful because you see all the Milky Way on a clear night and there's no light pollution. So therefore, these lights are operated by a switch in the cottage, not operated by movement, which can, of course, be very obtrusive. You know, there's a lot of wild animals around the cottage, badgers and foxes and sometimes even deer, and my neighbour's cats. So I don't really want to have the lights going on and off at will. But this way, I can appropriate the lights when I most need them. And I think there's been a wonderful job done in terms of the indoor and the outdoor lighting, you know. And it's not costing the earth. And it just gives me that little bit extra convenience. As always, with increasing technology, we as humans manage to get part of it right and part of it applied in the right direction. And for me, this has been about the light and the way in which we have evolved to be able to create light outside of nature. The application of it, of course, can be extreme, and in many cases, the illumination of cities and towns and even villages can cause so much light pollution that the knock-on effects can be detrimental to us. But here at Bealtaine Cottage, this beautiful new illumination, which is operated by the flick of a switch, on or off, not movement orientated. This light will be used in a very productive way, allowing me to extend my working day. Of course, nothing beats the natural daylight. and the shadows and the little brightnesses and magical little rays that can be produced from that one source of light in the sky, and the way that we can play with the light and how it comes through by planting, and especially trees. No, nothing actually beats that. And even photography is enhanced from this source.